speaking earlier about the guys in California being not as masculine as you like what's a typical dude that you come across in California like? Okay.
It's what I mean, I would say they're more, you know, and they're like more feminine. They for sure, you know, want everything to be equal, which, you know, I guess
Isn't
is
that what
great for
women want
some.
though
And
now?
most, I would say.
But not you.
Um, you know, and as when it comes to equal, I would say yes and no.
What do you
Not
mean by
I
equal?
would
Like what does equal look like?
I would like to have that option,
Mm.
but I would like the man to not, you know, to basically want to be 100% the masculine man in my life, you know. But if I had that option, you know, that would be great as well. That might be too much to ask for, you know.
There's
But
there's not a lot of defined clarity coming out of that though. Like when I'm asking you the question as far as what a typical dude looks like that you've been meeting in California that's not very masculine, I'm not getting a lot of definition coming from you as far as what you know what you expect, what you look for, what the guy's behaving like. So let me ask you the question this way: if I can produce a magic wand and wave it right now to solve your problems when it comes to a dude and dating, what would that look like if I wave that right now?
I guess someone that has the same values as me, you know, is honest, it like communicates. I would like somebody that can is great with their hands, does like a lot of, you know, maybe like build some stuff. I I I'm very easygoing, so it's really hard to explain what I want when I everything that I want I could do for myself.
Rachel, while Brandy's doing that, um, are you running the same sort of problem that Brandy sort of describes with guys that you meet in Florida? Like, are they more feminine?
Um, no. Honestly, no, not particularly. I don't find myself around. I mean, they're there. I see them,
Yeah,
but I feel like whenever I was living in Virginia, which was a very like very blue area politically,
hmm,
they were absolutely everywhere. But
yeah.
since I moved back to Florida, I don't really have that issue too much. No.
Is there any woman that you gals know that like softer, feminine sort of guys? Like within your friends, sisters, like anybody that you know?
Uh, my s- um my sister probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister. Yeah, I'd never she's been with her the same man since she was 15, so good for her.
Uh,
But they he's definitely more feminine, and my whole family like it's something that we would recognize. But
yeah.
it's not necessarily a bad thing. Their dynamic works, but it's just not something I'm attracted to
So
particularly.
so who leads that relationship? She does or he does?
Oh, I would say
Like if they got to get in the car and drive somewhere, who drives the car?
well, actually, he drives absolutely everywhere.
Okay.
But the thing is that as far as like leading the relationship, how it seems, just seems like it's like that word, like a partnership. I just don't really feel like there's anyone really driving it per se.
Okay.
Like okay, so whenever she moved to Washington D.C., so very blue place. Whenever she moved there, he just kind of dropped everything and followed her. Like he just kind of
Right.
just moved to wherever she was going because of her career.
Yeah.
So it was more driven towards that. Like he's geared a lot of his things as far as what he's doing towards work to
Mhm.
be closer to her and to be with her.
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
Moff, have we ever had a gal on that is overtly stated that they like softer, more feminine men?
No, never
Not
once.
one, right?
Not that I
I
can think of.
I would love to talk to one of these gals that like softer, feminine, sort of like male feminist sort of dudes. I don't know, ladies, if you're watching this, if you're watching a replay, Moff's Instagram handle is in the bottom. We want to have you on one of these shows and have a bit of a conversation. It's at Moff_unplugged on Instagram. Definitely reach out. Dude, Moff, it is so beyond me how we've done all these episodes now. We haven't had a single gal on that's like, I want a softer, more agreeable, more feminine man that's in my frame that will follow me wherever I go and be my. Sorry, we have actually had women say that I want a cheerleader, right? Like I want somebody to rah me on, but in the next breath, it's I want a strong masculine guy. I want a guy to lead. I want a guy to, take care of things. All right, so Rachel, for your situation, so you're moving to Fort Lauderdale, MRI tech. How long have you been in Florida for? You said that you grew up in Virginia, or you spent some time there?
I was living in Virginia for a little bit, for like 2 years.
Yeah.
But after COVID, I just decided to come back because Florida was just a better place to live during that time. But I'm from Florida, like I'm born and raised here, so I was just returning back.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The restrictions were kind of brutal during that time.
Yeah.
What are you seeing in? I mean, I understand that you're moving to another part of the state, but when you're out, are you running into the same sort of problems where you're coming across too many feminine guys, or like what sort of struggles are you running into when it comes to your life?
I think for the kind of guys that I'm meeting, it's really hard to answer because I'm outside of work. I'm not meeting any guys, and what I do for a living is I work as a server, and so the kind of guys that I work with are not the kind of guy I would want to be with at all. So yeah, so those are the only men that I really surround myself, and I don't really know where else to put myself in situations to where I could find that more. But so for me to say I've met more feminine guys, or not, I don't think I have, but I have.
You said that when you work as a server, you're running into the kind of guys that you wouldn't date. Is it the guys you work with or the customers?
Or
both?
No, not the customers. St. Pete's a really nice area. There's a lot of like great people, successful people that live here too.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like the people that like I work with. They usually are like very much into like little addictions. They aren't very good with their money. They're not really looking forward to elevate themselves in any way. Like my job that I'm doing just for the meantime is like the most that they are trying to get at. Like they're very content with being where we're at. And that's just not the kind of person that I want to be with. So I don't even think about them in that way at all.
So how ambitious does a guy have to be for you?
Ambitious enough to have like that itch where you always want to keep better, get better and make more and be better for yourself. I just don't feel like they have that in them at all.
And
it's not even.
There's a lot of guys that are pretty rudderless in life today, where they just don't have a plan, a vision, a goal, purpose.
Right. And like whenever, I mean, it just seems to be for me and my experiences, whenever I meet a man that doesn't know his purpose, or he's unsure in that, or he's just settling, they're really hard to be with, because it's just I just feel like men are hunters. If they're not hunting after like the things having their own purpose, they start to go to other things that aren't fulfilling or aren't good.
So vices.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Vices is the word.
What sort of vices do these guys pick up normally?
It's usually things like addictions, like gambling addictions. A lot of them are like addicted to vapes, which I think is super gross. Like they're in their like 30s and 40s vaping. They buy like Adderall off each other. They go spend their money after work at the bars. You see a lot of that in the service industry. They have a lot of like anger issues. They're very like mad at life in a way, but they act like they're not.
What are they mad at? Like what sort of anger issues are we talking about?
They like explode over things at work. Like things like just, it can get busy and people get frazzled sometimes in service, and they take it way too seriously. and you can see them get really angry, not have control over their emotion.
What sort of age range do you normally date with when you're out there putting yourself out there?
Honestly, it ranges from 20. I think the youngest would be 25 for me because I'm 24. But the oldest, I would say it would probably be 33.
Why is 33 the line in the sand?
I'm not exactly sure. I think the only thing that comes to my mind is my family. I really don't know how they would feel about that, because the oldest person that I had dated was 32.
Yeah.
And they were comfortable with that. I don't know if they would be comfortable with me dating someone higher. It's not that I'm not really.
Yeah.
I'm just considering other factors.
Do you find when you date guys that are older, they're able to regulate themselves better? They don't have outbursts, anger issues. They don't have vices. Or is it pretty much the same, consistently through it all?
I would say yeah, but yeah and no. Because the guys that I work with, they're around that age range. They're like 30 to 40, and they don't regulate themselves that great.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here, and pin down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.